President Trump doubling down on his criticism of James Comey and the FBI based on the Justice Department Inspector General's report. The president tweeting out this morning his claims of a, quote, witch hunt against his administration. Here with more insight, let's discuss with former Justice Department official Robert Driscoll. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for being here, Liz.
All right, I want to play a soundbite quickly from Rudy Giuliani. He's been on a couple networks. He was on especially this morning, and it's about investigating the Mueller investigation. I want to get your reaction. Take a listen.
Not so unorthodox. I mean, it's happened. No, I'm saying the Justice Department should do it. And I'm not really saying the special counsel. I'm saying what led up to the special counsel.
We're getting bogged down with investigations.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked he's doing it as a defense lawyer, but I think at the end of the day, it's time for all this stuff to just get wrapped up, have Mueller make his findings. Whether
is that why he's doing this then? Just more pressure? Is there any teeth to that?
Well, I think the more this looks like a food fight, the better it is for the president. And I think as the president's lawyer, that's what he's doing. He just wants to make it seem partisan on all sides to, weaken confidence in whatever the end of the report is. So as a defense lawyer, I totally understand where he's coming from. He just wants to make everyone throw up their hands and say, all of this is political.
Those on the inside, Bob Mueller, his team, do they care? Do they care at all?
No.
I mean, there's so much pressure for them to wrap up this investigation. Right. There's been no leaks. They don't care.
No, they don't, because they know that they'll eventually either lay out a case or not, and they know they have to prove it if they lay it out. And so I don't think they're not. I don't think politically motivated, right. And I think they're just moving forward, and they'll do what they're going to do. Who knows? I mean, from what we know publicly, there may not be much there, but again, who knows?
Trey Gowdy has also been pretty vocal. He was on Fox News Sunday this morning. He said basically, he's never seen this level of bias as a result of the IG report from last week. Are people allowed to have their opinion?
I got to say, as a former DOJ, even a political appointee, I was stunned by the breadth of the misconduct shown in the report and by some of the bias that was evidenced by the agents. I think it's unfortunate. I think it's a sad day for the FBI and the DOJ. It taints way more people than were involved in it. I think that the average line agent doing their job out in the field has nothing to do with any of this, and they end up with a black eye because of what was in there. But I do think partisanship aside, just the level of kind of snarkiness and disrespect of people you're investigating was, I think, something no one wants to see.
Well, that's sort of what, and especially from your standpoint, there are a lot of losers from this report, and a lot of innocent people who don't need to be classified as losing, simply because of the optics and the trust. And going forward, when there's a whole other parallel investigation, that's frustrating.
And Horowitz mentioned that a cloud was cast over the whole Clinton investigation, and I think a similar cloud's cast, unfortunately, over the Russia investigation and over the Mueller investigation, which got started because of all of this. And whether it's connected or not, public perception will be. I mean, it's kind of like if you think back to the OJ case. Mark Furman can be a racist, and OJ can still have done it. But if you prove one, it helps cast doubt on the other.
Well,
and they might not necessarily be connected.
The president's not. He's not shy when it comes to branding and political spinning. He's a master at that. No one's denying that. If you're Christopher Wray and you're the director of the FBI, how do you right the ship?
I think he's doing what he can do. I mean, he gave kind of an institutionalist response where he, focused on the whole agency and so that most of the agents were not implicated. So they're going to try to do more training and things like that. I think if I were him, what would concern me is the leaking. The leaking that was described in the report was, they couldn't find out who leaked because there were so many leaks they couldn't identify them all. And there were tickets going back and forth with reporters and concert tickets and meals and things like that seem to be part of the culture. And I think that's more concerning than a rogue agent who went off the rails and had some kind of crazed hatred for the president.
Well, more than 500 pages, we sure learned a lot.
If anyone hasn't read it, if you take the time to read it, it's stunning. It is.
All right. Robert Driscoll, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.